Your first solo trip isn't just a journey, it's a shift, a quiet turning point where you step into a version of yourself that you haven't met yet. People talk about destinations, they talk about food, the ship, the itinerary, but no one talks about the emotional journey, the inner world you move through when you travel alone for the first time. So let's talk about the emotional path you move through, quietly and often unexpectedly. Every solo trip begins long before you book anything. It starts with a whisper, a small, steady feeling that says, I think I need this. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's a quiet yes. The moment you realize you're ready to step into something new. There's hope in it. There's also many times fear in it, but mostly there's a sense of returning to yourself. Planning your first solo trip feels exciting. You imagine the ship, the ports, the freedom. But underneath that excitement, there's a shadow, a soft undercurrent of doubt. Am I really doing this? What if I feel out of place? What if I get lonely? This stage is a mix of anticipation and uncertainty, and both are completely normal. The night before your trip is almost never what people expect. You think that you should feel excited, but instead, you feel unsettled. You question everything. You wonder if you made a mistake. Sometimes you may think about canceling. This is the emotional dip that almost every solo traveler experiences. The moment before the leap, when your mind tries to pull you back to safety. It's temporary and it's also part of the process. Stepping onto the ship for the first time is sensory overload. The lights, the sound, the crowds, the sudden realization that you're really here. You feel proud, but you also feel nervous. You feel like you're watching yourself from the outside. But then you find your cabin, you take a breath, and something inside you settles. You made it. The first full day of your solo trip is an emotional wave. Moments of joy, moments of uncertainty, moments where you feel deeply alone, moments when you feel completely free. You're learning how to move through the world without anyone next to you. You're learning how to eat alone, how to explore alone, how to be with yourself in a way that feels new. This stage is where most of the growth happens, quietly, in the background, as you find your own rhythm. At some point, usually on day 2 or maybe day 3, something shifts. You stop worrying about how you look. You stop wondering what people think. You stop feeling like you need to perform. You exhale. For the first time, you feel genuinely relaxed. You feel capable. You feel present. This is the moment solo travel begins to feel like freedom. Then comes the moments you didn't plan for. A quiet sunrise, a conversation with a stranger, a meal that tastes better because you chose it for yourself, a walk on the deck where you suddenly feel connected to the world again. These small, unexpected highs are what make solo travel so unforgettable. They're the moments that stay with you long after you return home. Coming home from your first solo trip is its own emotional stage. The world feels slightly too loud. Your routine feels different. You feel different. You realize you're more capable than you thought. You realize that you can trust yourself. And you realize that the person you were before the trip is not the person who came back. This is the quiet transformation no one talks about. My name is Dr. Dan, and this channel is a calm, cinematic place for solo travelers who want their days and their travels to feel intentional, unhurried, and true to who they are. Thank you for joining me. If you're a solo traveler learning to move at your own pace again, you're welcome to subscribe and join me for the journeys to come. This channel is a calm, cinematic place to explore that journey, and you're always welcome here.